is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am ready. I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive all of the good that I am. That I am. It is here. It is now. That you are. We are all open to receive the goodness. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome everybody here at the Masonic Lodge in Princeton, and welcome to all of you who may be watching from home. We're here, we are a community of love. We're a community that believes that each one of us separately and all of us together are learning to live from a deeper place, and we call that love or peace or whatever you want to call it. So welcome today. This is our Mother's Day service. And we have a bunch of mothers here in many different ways. We are the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton. And as you know, we are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the well-being and spiritual growth of ourselves and the world. And we have no reason to be here other than to support individually and as a group our spiritual growth, our knowing that the world is a place created in, as, and through love. So that's what we're here for today. Today I will be doing a little workshop. Next weekend, our dear Reverend Karen Kushner will be giving a talk. And the weekend after that, our practitioner Susan Neat will be leading the service here. And we welcome you, if you're watching from home, we welcome you to come down to this wonderful Masonic Lodge right here on the canal, gorgeous scenery in Princeton. Or if you're listening from home, put in a comment so that we know you're there. And so that's what we're here for today, and that's what you're here for today. We're going to be doing different kinds of meditation, some journaling, and some things of that sort. And we invite those of you at home to get a piece of paper and a pen and join us. And so Reverend Rich is here with his music, and Deejah will be our practitioner of the day.
I hear you. I am thine. I feel you. I am thine. I love you. I am thine. I am thine. I hear you. I am thine. I feel you. I am thine. I love you. I am thine. I am thine. I hear you. I am thine. I feel you. I am thine. I love you. I am thine. I am thine. I am thine.
Thank you, Reverend Rich. That was beautiful. That reminds me of a love song that we each have for the infinite. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to be here. This day has so many different meanings to it. But right now, I'd like us to get quiet, and I would love for us to take a collective deep breath, maybe two. Let's inhale. And one more. And I'd love to read a beautiful prayer by the late, great Debbie Ford called Reclaiming Your Light. Dear God, Goddess, Creator of all that is, today I close my eyes and invite into my conscious awareness all the holy parts of myself that have been hidden from my sight. I affirm that it's safe to open up to my deeply spiritual essence, to discover the divine thread that connects me to everyone else, seen and unseen on the planet. I proclaim that it is safe for me to come face to face with my greatness, my gifts, my spiritual vastness, my holiness. Today, God grant me the courage to stand without apology in the presence of all my greatness. Give me the insight to reclaim the light that I have attributed to or projected onto others. Allow me to open up and see what's possible for mankind when I stand fully in the presence of my holiness. Support me, please, in being present to the importance of my own holy self. Wash away anything that's between me and that divine thread, my divine essence. Allow me to be humble enough to know that I have nothing to do with how divine I am. Today, dear God, allow the light that I have transferred out into the world to people I know and to people I don't know, to people who are alive and people who have passed, to return back to me. Bring all of that light right now back to me. Let me open my arms, my heart, to the uniqueness of my humanity and the magnificence of my divinity. Let me know the divine as myself. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. And now, I speak this word for everyone listening, for the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton, for all the mothers, for our beloved Mary Verkand. And I know that there is one infinite divine love. There is one abounding joy. there is one principle of perfect health and perfect well-being. It is all God, attributes of the infinite spirit. And since each one is one with the infinite, each one is one with all of the divine attributes of the infinite. Each one is the infinite and divine love of God. This love is filling each one, pressed down, shaken up, spilling over, and radiating out into the universe, bouncing back and filling us up again. Each one is the perfect health of the infinite spirit. This means that every organ, action, and function of each one's body is operating at peak efficiency. Each one's body is holding the intelligence of the infinite spirit, the one who spins the earth on its axis. And so each one is powerful beyond measure. Today, each one accepts their greatness, even if just a little more, to know that each one is one with God, carries these attributes forward into their day, their world, their environment, their community, and shines this love forward to create a better world. This is the truth. This word is now released into God's loving law. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you, Reverend Rich.
So I love this song, and I was trying to find a song for Mother's Day, and this isn't quite the song, but it's a song maybe a mother would sing to a child. And it's by that unknown poet, Bob Dylan. May God bless and keep you. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to stars, climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. Here we go. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth. See the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous. Stand up straight and be strong. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay have a wonderful talk by our wonderful practitioner, Jon.
Good morning. I didn't expect applause.
Oh, come on. Let's do
Well, that's
that.
because we love
Yes, yes.
Well, that's because we love you.
Thank you. So today's Mother's Day.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, you know, I was interesting that beautiful treatment that Deejah did for us. And I don't remember the specific line, but basically recognizing that we all already are that which we aspire to. All the love in the world. I love that one phrase that Ernest Holmes wrote. All the love that there is right here, right now, in every one of us. Right? So I thought, I started thinking about that because what's been very much on my mind in my spiritual practice is that thing that Ernest Holmes says, that when we do our spiritual practice, whether it's spiritual mind treatment or meditation or whatever, if you're trying, you're not quite there yet. Because trying means you don't believe it's true. And you're trying to make it true, right? In practice, I find that sometimes a difficult place to get. To totally surrender to the fact that all the love in the world lives in me. But as Reverend Karen often said, what you focus on expands. So if I'm focused on my outer life, that's what seems real to me. And I'm trying to get to that place where the love lives in me. And I've been practicing to let go and surrender to the fact that in me, at the deepest place, is love. And so I was thinking of that in terms of Mother's Day. I committed to doing some sort of presentation today, and they realized, oh, it's Mother's Day. Got to mention that. So I was thinking about my mother. And there's a story. I just spent a week in Florida visiting with my nephew. We were talking about our family and stuff, and this story came up, and I haven't thought about this in a long time. So many years ago, this would be in the late 80s, I used to sing with a big chorus, the New York City Gay Men's Chorus. Very big chorus, 150-member chorus. We always had our concerts at Carnegie Hall, always sold out Carnegie Hall. And one concert, I brought my mother. And after the concert, we had like a party in a club nearby Carnegie Hall. And something happened. I have forgotten about this. But she walked in and she became the mother of everybody in that room. Because here we were in a room full of men, gay men, many of whom had families that rejected them. And what took over in my mother, and she had, like many of us, she had a difficult life. But at that moment, the only thing that was present was her as a mother. And there was this kind of energy. And I saw my friends in the chorus sort of flocking around her. Some of whom said to her, my mother doesn't talk to me. And she became the mother of all these people at that moment. Aww. Right? So I was thinking about that. That's a kind of energy that was very much a part of who she was. Whatever was going on in her life, and some crazy things, like, as I said, like many of us, some difficult things happened in her life. But what she always was, deep within herself, was that energy of mothering. And so I thought, isn't it interesting? A lot of times in this teaching, or whatever spiritual teaching we're following, we know how to identify when there's a problem, right? Oh, I'm demonstrating this in my life. What thought am I doing that's creating this experience in my life, right? And right now, us as a group, we're finding out what CSL Princeton is. And we're looking at where the problems are and what are we trying to create and all this kind of stuff. I thought the thing that I rarely do is mother myself, right? Bring that energy to myself and to the people around me, rather than getting absorbed in the thought of what isn't working, what am I demonstrating in my life, and that kind of thing. So I thought today, as this community, let's mother ourselves and mother each other. Let's bring that loving energy together. And just spend, I don't know, it'll be a half hour, 20 minutes, whatever it is, in that energy. So I thought, let's start with this, and I handed this out. For those of you at home, I'll read it out loud so that you'll know what it is we're reading. Many of you know this. This was a thing that was written by Ernest Holmes, our founder, and it's really beautiful. And it starts off with good and more good is mine. So those of you who know it, you know now what we're about to do. And I'm suggesting that bring that mothering energy for yourself. When you say good, let that fullness of loving be what's in your mind. And let's read this together. At the end of each line, just take a nice breath so those who are at home can participate also. Okay? Let's read it together. Good and more good is mine. And ever increasing good is mine. Take a breath. Take a breath. Are you thinking about this? When you say the word good, are you really letting yourself experience that loving that lives inside you? So let's start it again. Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. There is no limit to the good which is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good, I feel it, I experience it. It crowds itself against me, flows through me, expresses itself in me, and multiplies itself around me. So just let that be what's present. And if in your mind you're thinking, well, I'm not feeling it, just relax and allow yourself to be in that place that this is what lives in the deepest place inside you. And this is a time, I know for many of us, we approach this teaching through our minds. You think about it. Let yourself be there with the feeling of it. So let's say it again together. Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. There is no limit to the good which is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. I experience it. It crowds itself against me, flows through me, expresses itself in me, and multiplies itself around me. And just let yourself be in the feeling of that. Take a nice deep breath and allow that feeling to be fully present down to the tips of your toes, to the top of your head, to the tips of your fingers, in all the corners of your mind, of your consciousness. And let it lift you up. My name for God is infinite living blessing. And I truly believe that that blessing lives in every one of us, always. And so now's the time, on Mother's Day, to let that mothering energy support you. And allowing that energy to remain, I want to throw a different thought in there. I know for myself very often, I wake up in the morning and there's a thought in my mind that I don't particularly love, or I'm feeling a little scattered, and I get absorbed in, how can I practice this? How can I practice this? So I thought, what would life be like if I was totally focused on making this true for everybody around me? Let that mothering energy be present, not just for me and in me, but for everyone in my life and for the world. I mean, it takes 2 seconds worth of thought to know what the world would be like if that was the choice that people were making rather than the choices of what's showing up. So let's do this same prayer, and for those of us in the room, we're going to send our energy out. Because the second half of this, we're going to do good and more good is yours. Okay? So under the dotted line, same thing with slight change in words. And as we do it, for those of you in the room, if you like to look up and share it specifically with other people in the room, or just send your energy out. Good and more good is yours, and ever increasing good is yours. There is no limit to the good which is yours. Everywhere you go, you see this good, you feel it, you experience it. It crowds itself against you, flows through you, expresses itself in you, and multiplies itself around you. It really is a different energy sort of when you do it that way, right? Imagine living with a consciousness in the world that everyone else around you is the expression of good, of the highest good. This is what Ernest Holmes tells us, that we are in a state of consciously, constantly demonstrating, right? The universe that we experience is, in some way, a result of our consciousness. What if we walked around in the world with the consciousness that everyone was the expression of all the love that there is? That's not true. I know it's not true. People are fighting here and people are doing this and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is the collective consciousness, right? What Ernest Holmes calls race consciousness. I like to call it the human race consciousness, right? We believe in war, so we've got war. We believe that we can't have what we want unless somebody else doesn't have what they want. And so we keep creating these situations. And when I say we, the human race as a whole, right? It's been expressed as the law of averages. If you don't make a choice yourself in your life, then the law of averages takes over, right? If the law of averages says that this percentage of people are going to be below the poverty line, or this percentage of people are going to have a particular kind of disease, right? If you don't make a choice, if each one of us don't choose our lives, then the law of averages takes over. And that's a very real experience, right? It's not that that's not a real experience, but what the science of mind is that by choosing, we are no longer subject to the law of averages. We create our own life. And so just imagine if you walked around in the world with that mothering energy for yourself and for everybody around. So I want to do a little exercise. I brought some paper, and we're going to do some journaling. We're going to let that mothering energy within us write a letter to us. Not very long. We'll take a few minutes with this. Let's pass the paper around. For those of you at home, if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, and there are pens on the table here, just say, "Dear John," or whatever your name is, obviously, write yourself a letter. Let yourself sit in that energy of mothering, and let it talk to you. And this is not the time to talk about the things that aren't working in your life. This is the time to talk about the fact that love lives inside you at the deepest level, always does. Not limited love, but all the love there is. And let that love talk to you. Write yourself a letter. So we're going to give some time to do that. It'll just be 5 minutes. Of this sentence, stop for a minute and think, what's the one thing you want to say to yourself from that place of loving. So bring that to a close. And remember, you can keep doing this. If you find that this is of value to you, here's a little spiritual exercise you can do for yourself. Let yourself be in the loving and share with yourself from that loving place. Does anybody who's here in the room like to read a short sentence, a few words of what you wrote? Yeah.
Am I censored?
Yes.
Okay. Dear Regina, Mother loves you. You are the beautiful creation made to my image and likeness. I embody in you intelligence, creativity, peace, joy, vitality, order, harmony, service, and most of all, love. Love presses down on you and pours through you into your experience, all that you think about and touch. You are my creation, in whom I am well pleased. Love, Mom.
Wow.
Wow, thank you. So that's pretty wonderful. One of the things I think about when we meet weekly on Sunday morning is Science of Mind is not a Sunday morning thing. I mean, it is for us. It's great that we can get together once a week and be together in this consciousness, right? Someone who I've been working with, doing some spiritual work with, reminded me this week, it's easy for us to say these things about loving, to do treatment, to do things like this, but Ernest Holmes is pretty clear. If we're really doing it, it will show up in our lives. And if it's not showing up in our lives, then we need to let more loving show up. And it's the loving. That's one thing when you learn how to do spiritual mind treatment. Ernest Holmes makes this point a lot in the textbook, the Science of Mind textbook. It's emotion, it's feeling in that third step of treatment that connects you with it and tells the law what to do, right? My spiritual guide said to me, the law doesn't know anything about anything unless it's in your subconscious, right? Stuff we do on the surface and all that kind of stuff. So really the question for me, how do we get from that conscious level where we're just walking around in the world doing stuff to the level of having things reach our subconscious? And Ernest Holmes says, yeah, it's emotion, applying the emotion. Picture yourself right now walking around in the world with the people in your lives with that mothering energy. Feel that. Imagine in the week to come, you know some of the things you're going to be doing. You're going to be shopping, maybe you have to go see a friend or whatever. Imagine being in that loving energy and let yourself feel it. That's how we create, that's how we choose a life from the mothering place within ourselves. And I suggest that let Mother's Day, from the spiritual point of view that we're talking about, be part of your life. What can you do to mother yourself more, to let that energy be present in your life? And so from that point of view, Reverend Rich, do you have a song for us?
I have one song. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. When all fear and worry fall away from me, I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that is, love will set us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that is, love will set us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love will set us free. There is only love.
So, here's the challenge, right? Now I'm supposed to pass the plate. And many of you who went to a standard church, whether it be Catholic or whatever, you gotta pass the plate at the end, right? How do we connect this with that loving energy? This is the question. Money in our lives and money problems that sometimes show up and all that stuff. If we really believe and know that at the core of who we are is nothing but love, how do we deal with money? Right? Well, this is the challenge in a way. Why do we do spiritual practice every day? To get to that place, because there's a place inside of us that knows how to do that. And it knows it now. If we're not connecting with that, it's because we're focusing on something else. What you focus on expands. So for a minute now, we're going to focus on what we call abundance, right? Ernest Holmes is quite clear. The thing itself, that which is, there was never a time when it wasn't. There will never be a time when it's not. It is love, and it is being created in every moment. So what form are you creating it in? Now's the chance for those of us here at the Masonic Temple. And if you're at home, now's the time to focus on that there is no limit. And that can be expressed in your life at whatever level you're choosing to express it. So I'm going to pass the plate. And that is a symbol of how unlimited you are, how unlimited every one of us is, not as a concept, but an actual reality. Now's the time to let yourself think that's true. Yes, and online, we'd love to accept your donations if that's what you choose to do at cslprinceton.org. You can do it right there. I suggest that you do it from a place of loving yourself, being the presence of love in the world. A form of love is abundance, unlimited. And so while we complete this, I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment to complete this particular expression for all of us who are here and for those of you who are home watching. And so this word is for each one who has participated in this event today and each one who wishes that they had participated. And it's for everybody else too. What I know is that there is nothing in the world but love. And in every moment, that love is creating new forms, which are nothing but the forms of love. And that is what is expressing as each one who is listening or participating in any way, right here and now, or who, if you are listening to this on YouTube later in the week, you are the expression of that loving being created in every moment. And so what I know is each one is now choosing love in each moment. And each one is experiencing wonderful surprises in their life as love creates new forms. And each one is experiencing and knowing that love within their hearts and in every aspect of their lives. And each one is knowing that the world is a place of the creation of love. And in that knowing, there is healing. In that knowing, there is an uplifting. In that knowing, there is joy. And so each one is now knowing joy. Each one is now uplifted. Each one is living a life of the expression of love at every moment. And I am truly grateful to know this. And in that knowing, I release it to the law. The law has only one purpose, and that is to fulfill this truth. And so it is now fulfilled. It is done. And so it is.
So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is.